Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Snyder, and I'm a transportation planner with the North Central Texas Council of Governments. Since the outbreak of the coronavirus, staff have been monitoring changes in travel data across multiple modes of transportation, such as transit ridership, motor vehicles on freeways, and airline passengers. And while those modes saw a decrease last spring and summer, today we want to share with you how COVID is impacting bicycling and walking in a different manner. Several years ago, COG purchased and installed several trail counters across the region. These units collect the number of people walking and bicycling at a particular location. The technology used includes an infrared sensor counting the movement of pedestrians and inductive loops to register bicyclists by detecting the metal components from the bike. As a result of COVID, residents in North Texas have made several lifestyle changes. When many communities enacted shelter-in-place policies to help stop the spread of the virus, many businesses were forced to adjust. Bicycle stores in the region, however, experienced an overwhelming boom in sales. This was covered in the news not only locally, but also with a national phenomenon. The Katy Trail in Dallas, the most popular trail in the region with the highest volume of users, was so popular that the city of Dallas passed measures to regulate when people could use the Katy Trail based on the first letter of their last name. That's how basic the Katy Trail was. Staff wanted to dive deeper into the data being collected on trails across the region. For this analysis, we reviewed 8 sample locations collecting trail data identified on this map in red. These trail locations include Fort Worth, North Richland Hills, Denton, Allen, Plano, and 3 different sites in Dallas. These counters were installed prior to the coronavirus, so we were able to quantify the impact COVID has had on people bicycling and walking on trails. As you may remember, COVID in our region really escalated in March, where you can see a 50% increase in trail counts compared to March of 2019. Counts continued to experience an increase in the spring season, with trail usage peaking in the month of May. Compared to May 2019, trail counters in May 2020 registered a 78% increase. Trail counts since May have continued to be higher compared to 2019 levels, but the combination of nice weather and the relaxation of shelter-in-place policies may have contributed to a surge in people wanting to go outside. The next few slides will dive deeper into the data collected during this past May and share what patterns and trends we found. This chart shows the daily average trail counts in both May 2019 and May 2020 at each of the 8 locations. As you'll notice, there's a stark contrast. In the previous slide, you'll remember that the Katy Trail only experienced a 37% increase. During May 2020, an average day recorded nearly 3,000 trail counts. Of the 8 locations, 5 of them registered over 2,000 trail counts on an average day this past May, which is more than what any of them had recorded in 2019. The trail counters used in this analysis can distinguish bicyclists from pedestrians. This chart compares the proportion of people bicycling to people walking at each of the 8 locations. Bicycle mode share is colored blue, with the pedestrian mode share in red. Across the board, all of the count locations registered an increase in the proportion of bicycle counts over 2019. I think this chart is really interesting because it reflects the surge in bicycle sales that occurred at the beginning of the pandemic. For example, bicyclists accounted for 36% of traffic on the rail trail in Denton in May 2019. In May 2020, that number increased to 70%. Looking at trail count data at the hourly level, what's interesting is that trail counts on weekdays, shown on this chart in yellow, between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., experienced an increase of 120%. So more people were out on trails throughout weekdays, far more compared to before COVID. This data also informs us that there was an increase of trail traffic on weekends, shown here in green, in the late morning, and also the evening around 7 p.m. To learn more about COG's Bicycle and Pedestrian Count program, please go to nctcog.org/bikeped count data. Thanks.